Hey, this is Doug Upsall for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, and today is February the 20th, Tuesday. And we are back with some line moves and free picks for you. Today we got 4 in college basketball and 1 in the NHL. NBA, of course, will be back in a couple of days, so we've got that to look forward to. And I'll have an article coming up. There's one on there about the Boston Celtics already, and there'll be another article on the Vegas Pro Insider Daily website soon about the teams facing the toughest schedules to start the second half of the season. So you can look for those as well. Hey, you know what? Everybody loves a deal, so I came up with one for you. Vegas Pro Insiders Daily Inner Circle membership. March Madness literally is right around the corner, right? I mean, it's almost here. Time to get going. The Big Ten and a number of conferences are going to end this week. They'll have their conference tournament starting next week. Here's my deal for you. Starting today, okay, or tomorrow or the next day, you will get every selection from now in college basketball, from now until April the 2nd, the night of the NCAA championship game. Your cost is only going to be $99, not even 99 cents, $99. But it's not going to be just about the NCAA tournament. It's going to be all the tournaments relating to college basketball. The conference tournaments, you're going to get all of those picks. You're going to get all of the picks from the NIT, the CBI, and the CIT as well, whatever picks that we have from there. So that will be including me, will be in picks in there. Kyle Hunter, who last look was #2 in college basketball at Sports Capping. Sean Higgs, who I know is in the top 10. I did not bother to look this morning where he was, but he was in the top, I think top 7 the other day when I looked. So he's there. Dennis Macklin, having a very good year, been doing great at Vegas Pro Insider Daily, and Jim Mack as well. So you're going to get all 5 of our picks, okay, relating to everything to do with college basketball for only $99.99. Plus, you're going to get the top trends relating to any specific day. You're going to get the super systems that I have together, and I will share with you any evolving systems that partake, particularly for this year, that relate to all of that. So you can get all of that, $99, okay, if you sign up today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever, okay, the sooner the better, because you get more value for your money by doing it, and it's going to take you all the way to the NCAA championship, $99. Go to the Vegas Pro Insider Daily website, look for it there, you'll find it. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right, let's get to some free picks. Boston College is going to be at NC State, and NC State's battling to get into the March Madness, the big dance, but they still have some work to do. They're not a lock yet to be in there. But in spite of this, Hoops Bettors have, in spite of what their needs are, Hoops Bettors have taken them at home from -8 down to -5 against Boston College. This has to do with primarily this key factor, is that NC State is a very good offensive team. They average 81 points per game. But in their last 6 games, they have given up 80.6 points per game. So that's where the problem comes into play. Can you trust a team that's giving up that many points to do the job and to cover spreads? I believe that's the reason it went down. And myself, I'm looking at this game. I actually would take the Boston College with the +5. That'll be my pick for the video and obviously on the website. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait myself personally and see if I can get the better value of an increased number from a betting perspective, because it was at 8. So see if I can maybe get a 5.5 or even a 6 if it goes back up there, or whatever it happens to be. We'll see how it goes. 71% of bettors are on Boston College, and that's where the direction that I would go at this time. Next up, West Virginia and Baylor. That's going to be the ESPN2 game at 7 Eastern. Now, Baylor is on a 5-0 run, won 5 games in a row, 6-0 against the spread, and they're playing in Waco against West Virginia. But in spite of all this, oddly enough, they have gone from -1 to +1 against West Virginia. Now, you know, the one thing that Scott Drew, the Baylor coach, knows, you know what? Stay close to West Virginia. That's all you got to do. In some cases, you don't even have to stay close, but just hang around with West Virginia, because they have shown time and time again having a propensity to blowing games when they have leads. Did it just the other day against Kansas. They did it twice against Kansas. They've done it at least 2 other times that come to mind where they had leads and just gave away games, and seemingly lucked into a couple others where fate more stepped in and or the other team just didn't execute at the end of the game. So I think that's gonna stick around with Baylor on that one. Now the total on this is also dropped from 143 down to 141. Myself, I like Baylor. You know, what they have finally established, they were kind of looking for it like a lot of Big 12 teams have. They've been looking for an identity, and I think they've established it on both ends of the court. Defensively, doing an excellent job. Offensively, now kind of everybody's role has kind of been figured out. So I like the direction is. West Virginia continues to play up and down even within the course of games. I don't like their situation. So I'll take Baylor to cover, and I like the under because when Baylor is, when they've covered a spread at 1 or more, they're 8-2 under in their next game. So that's Baylor and under. Next up, ESPN. We got an SEC game, Kentucky at Arkansas. Now, with the recent play of Auburn and Tennessee, both have been a little off their game of late. They're at the top of the SEC standings, but neither one has played particularly well of late. With that in mind, we have Arkansas, who at this very moment, I'm not saying, you know, from now to the end of the season, but at this very moment, Arkansas is playing the best basketball in that conference. They've won 4 in a row, covered each and every one of them, and how they've done it is they've been playing fantastic defense. Now, they haven't played, you know, the who's who of offensive teams in the SEC, and other than Arkansas and Auburn, I don't know who else would really fit that anyways. A lot of inconsistency on offense in that conference. But despite that, you only can play who you can play. And they've held 4 opponents to 64.5 points a game and under 35% shooting. Now, they're going to be facing a Kentucky team who, you know, finally won. They ended their 4-game losing streak, and they did it primarily by whipping Alabama on the boards. And Alabama, for whatever reason, just kept cranking up the threes and doing that, and not being a very good 3-point shooting team, which was perplexing to me in watching the game. Nevertheless, that's what happened. But Arkansas has been moved from -4 to -5.5. You know what? I like the Razorbacks in that situation because I think they're playing with a lot of confidence as they're at home at Bud Walton, where they almost always play well. And Kentucky, they're a young team who has struggled on the road and, you know, and in certain moments of games just don't come through. I like Arkansas to take that one. Finally, let's talk the NHL. Now, Florida is going to be at Toronto. That'll be on local networks. Now, in this one, Florida's on a good roll, 7-2 straight up, but Toronto's been even better, 10-2 straight up, okay, in their most recent games. Despite this, both #1 goalies are playing, so there's not an issue there. But yet Toronto, the Maple Leafs, have gone from -200 on the money line all the way down to -160. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I thought 200 is way too high because, I mean, Florida's playing well. Florida's not as good a team, but you know, Florida is getting back into the mix, at least, to maybe be a wild card team. They're not there yet. They still have a lot of work to do. And Toronto is one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. They're 3rd right now, and I think they're 4 points behind Tampa Bay for the #1 spot. So they're really in the thick of things. However, I'm looking at this game. Toronto, I think they're just playing overall better. Florida, in their last 10 February road games, is 9-1. Not going to dispute that they have been playing well as they wrap up this road trip. But when they have played 4 consecutive road games, in their next game, the Panthers are 5-15. Not very good. So I'm going to take Florida on that one. So, hey, that's everything I have for today. 5 picks for you today, freebies. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk some more, probably similar setup to today with a lot of college games, even though we have more college choice. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in the NFL in terms of NHL in terms of line moves. We'll figure that out tomorrow. All right. So consider Vegas Pro Insider Daily Inner Circle membership, only $99 from now until April the 2nd. So you get all this time, nearly 6 weeks of action for only $99. So hey, this is Doug Upstone, Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. I am out.